Hello and welcome to the introductory video for principles of programming. So this video will tell you what to expect during the class, where to find answers, and we'll go over the syllabus, Canvas, Cengage software, and Microsoft Teams. Right? So before we get started, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and you can also leave a comment at the end. If you're unable to do any of those things, go ahead and create yourself a free YouTube account. It takes less than a minute. All right, so let's dive into what to expect from Principles of Programming, or as some would call it, COP 1000. So the first thing we're going to show is the syllabus, so let's get into it. So of course your syllabus is going to talk about, show you where the class is located. In this case it's going to be online, also your instructor, and some vital information about your grade. There's also an area where it shows you how to pace. With this class you'll be able to pace ahead. Once the term starts, everything will be due at a certain date at the end of the term. So if you have emergencies or things like that, make sure you work ahead. If you're waiting until the last minute and then something happens, no extensions will be granted. So let's look at the syllabus and what it looks like. So here we have our syllabus along with the title of the class, Principles of Programming, Fall 2024, and all that. Instructor's name, the instructor's email address, course website, along with the online classroom and all that. So let's scroll down. Now, I don't expect you to read the whole syllabus. I'm going to highlight some key features, but I want you to use it as a reference. So if you have a question before you email your instructors or instructor, go ahead and look through the syllabus to find your answers. If you email a question that is in the syllabus or in this video, I'm going to refer you, that's going to be my answer to you. Go ahead and look at the introduction video again, or find that in the syllabus. All right. Reason why is I have a lot of students, and if I get the same question from each one, it makes the job a lot harder to do and lets me less effective as your teacher. So here we have textbooks and supplies. Of course, our textbook is going to come with the tuition. So the ebook will be available online, and I'll show you how to access that. You can have a jump drive, but since you're doing it online, it's up to you how you store your files. The Cengage MindTap version 2.0, that's going to come with the software as well. And then you will need access to Microsoft Teams. So in our classroom, for students who are in the classroom, they can access Teams in Classroom. And if you have Microsoft Office 365, you can also access Teams for free. So if you have trouble accessing Teams, that's why I put these videos on YouTube, so you can reference YouTube to find out how to use Teams within Canvas, or for my class, how to access a class and all that. So this is the supplies that you would need for this class. And let's go down to some more highlighted areas. So let's go to, like I said, you can read through this if you would like. I'm just going to highlight the pertinent areas. That's the withdrawal date, Tuesday, October 2nd, where you can withdraw without receiving an F. If you wait till after that date, you won't have that option. Let's see. Okay, here's the grading scale. All the grades will be actually in the Cengage MindTap software, where you can see your total points. I have the percentages on the left with the totals on the right. So the most points you can get is 600 points, and you need 360 to pass the class. All right. So 359.999 will be an F, as that 0.001 will get you to 360. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you have, it might show your percentage. For instance, if you complete assignments, 1/6 of the assignments, and you get 100 out of 100, it'll show you being 100%. But as you see on the total points, your grade that you'll get will be an F because 0 to 359 is an F. So please understand your grades. And as I've seen in many past terms, not understanding how the grade system works is not grant you any additional points. So make sure you understand that. Next, this is very important. No extensions will be accepted. All assignments, projects, quizzes, and exams are due by Wednesday, December 4th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as I mentioned earlier, if you have an emergency and it's early in the term, you'll have time to make it up. If you're unable to make the time to get through the class, then you will need to withdraw and take it a time when you do, because no extra points will be awarded for emergencies, for any other thing other than the classwork. So that's why I have everything unlocked when the course starts, so that you can work ahead, and I recommend you do that. It will be self-paced, but if you wait till the last minute and then emergency comes, you will get the grade that you will get. And also on 12/4, I'm going to turn in the grades at 6 p.m. so I finish with my fall courses. All right, so I will probably be unreachable a week after that, as I may be traveling, not sure, but I will finish my instructions for 2024 at that time. All right, so here's how the grade breaks down when it comes to quizzes. They're 40% of your grade. So out of the 600 possible points, 240 can be achieved just by the end of chapter quizzes. So there's 12 of them, and they're each worth 20 points each. So that's where your 240 points out of the 600 will come from. Next is going to be your projects, or your labs as we call them. They're 240 points. There's a lot of them, so they're like usually 2 or 3 points each. But make sure you don't fall behind on those, because it is a lot of work. Most of it's going to be just coding, but you will receive detailed instructions. You might not understand the 3 languages that you're working with, nor will you be required to be a good programmer after this class. This is an introductory class. All right, so that's where your other 240 comes from, and then your final 120 points will come from your final exam, which will be available the last week of course, and it's worth 120 points. So by doing the math, even though it's impossible to get an A without taking the final, you can get a B without the final. So, but it is worth 120 points, so definitely want to give it a shot. All right, next we have, let me reiterate this again before we go, because I get this at the end of every term. This is the deadline for everything. 6 p.m. You will know your grade. I will know your grade. Your grade will be submitted. So if you need an extension, kind of use your time wisely at the beginning. I know we can't anticipate emergencies, but if you work ahead, they'll be less impacting. And if you let me know that something's going on, I can probably work better with you early in the term than I can after the term ends. So here's our course schedule, and like I said, since it's an online class and everything's going to be unlocked, this is in case you like structure and you want to pace along and kind of see where you should be. This goes by date, by week, and it's going to tell you basically what chapter you should be on with the dates on the left. Key thing is you don't want to fall behind this pacing chart. If you do, you'll find yourself with a lot of work at the end, and chances are you might not finish. All right, so here you see where the final covers chapter 1 through 12, and it's going to be unlocked from the 2nd of December to the 4th. So make sure you get that in or plan for that. What I might do is unlock it earlier. And where you see no class, happy Thanksgiving. If you're behind, if you're not done with chapter 12, you may want to go ahead and do your coursework that week. So if you ever want to go back to that and kind of get more of a grasp on where you should be or anything out of the syllabus, make sure you do know where to find it at the very least. It wouldn't hurt to read it, but like I said, before you ask a question, make sure you watch this video and you actually look at the syllabus. If you don't read it, at least reference it so you know how to answer your own questions. All right. All right, the next area we're going to be looking at is your Canvas. Canvas is the basic learning management software that the college uses so you can do online courses, hybrid courses, and all that. So the Canvas I'll use as a tool, as a gateway to the Cengage software. And in this video, or this part of the video, we're going to guide you through Canvas, show you how to navigate. So let's go ahead and jump into that now. So when you go to Canvas, you'll see this first page. Up top, you'll have the exact course that you're in. Here's your tabs that you can navigate on the side. But the first thing you're going to need to do when you start this class, you're going to click this link right here. Make sure you go to this class Canvas. You don't need any words or any passcodes or anything. If you click here and follow the link on this link right here, this is in the home tab. In case you come in some other tab, go back to the top of the home and click on the 2024-40-cop.1000-02Z. This link will link you to this class, and I'll be able to see your grade and see your activity. If you do it any other way, you need to back out of that, go to Canvas and click this link right here. All right. So also in Canvas, your announcements. If I got something, a reminder or something, check your announcements at least once a week. I'll put it in I'll put it here. So you just click the announcements tab. You don't need the Cengage tab or the first day tab anymore. So like I said, once you have access to Canvas, you go to your home, this link, you already paid for the software, so it'll give you access to it, and then you should be already be in Cengage, and I'll see you populate my grade book as you register. And this is how you register, by clicking here and following the links. All right. The syllabus, you can find a copy of the syllabus in Canvas. That's copied and pasted on this page. It'll be there. And then on the files page, same thing. Anything that I put in there, it'll be here. I'll put a syllabus here as well. But the key thing to know, see your Microsoft Teams should be in here as well. Here's your Teams meeting, Teams classes. Like I said, if you have any issues accessing Teams, use your YouTube, how to access Teams through Canvas as a student. You can find that. The key thing is getting started. Go to home, click this link. Now I'm going to click this link so I can get the Cengage. Mine will be a little different than yours. So mine is there. And so the next thing we do, we'll talk about the Cengage. Now with the Cengage, it's going to be all your software, everything you need. The book is included. There's a ebook included in there. It's broken down by chapters, and I'll show you how to navigate it next. You can see your grade and all that. But if you don't register correctly, you won't be able to get any points. That's another thing. By the second week of class, I'll send notices and all that. If you're not in my grade book by then, I'm going to go ahead, when I do the census reporting, I'm going to drop you from the class. So make sure that if you can't do that, then maybe think about registering for another class in the future, because you will need to be in the grade book and active by the second week of class when I do census reporting. And I usually do it for this online classes on Wednesday. So the second Wednesday of class is when you're going to need to be have your Cengage up. Reason why, it's a lot of work, and most people who don't have it by that time end up failing anyway, because there's a lot of work to do online. All right, so let's look into the Cengage and see what it looks like and how to navigate. So this is the first page that you'll see, your Cengage, and all the courses and everything should be lined up just like this. First thing you want to do is click the down arrow on the first part, which is your course orientation. This tells you how to use the Main tab, how to use the Cengage, or how to use the GitHub to do the labs. So you'll need to watch these videos that are in here. Click on one at a time and go through them. Same thing with the getting started with coding labs. This is very important because it tells you how to submit them for your grade. If you don't know how to do that, you'll miss out on 240 points easily. You won't need to download any files. You can, but that's for the debugging part. I didn't include those in the grades, but if you want extra practice, you can use those and use the debugging. So once you're done, once we go through these, it's better to do them before class starts if you have time. I'm going to open the class early. So let's close it out. Chapter 1, for instance, this is how it's broken down. The Learn It is basically the ebook and videos to go through and understanding the programming in different languages. Like I said, you're going to get a very basic programming course. This is what it is, and no one's going to expect you to learn 3 separate languages in 16 weeks. All right, so that's not what this class is about. But you will see a lot of code. You will do a lot of coding, but you might not understand it all. But the best we can do is get you exposed to it the best we can. So don't come in with the attitude that I'm going to be a awesome programmer with 3 different languages during this class. If you have that and you waste too much time on that and don't do the work, you're going to fail this class. But make sure you go through all these in the Learn It section of every chapter. Then it's Code It. This is where you do your actual programming under Code It. Then when you close that out, you got your Study It. And it's just PowerPoint slides and flashcards to see what you were taught in the Learn It, to get over before you take the quiz. Then in your quiz review, chapter 1 quiz review, that's the actual quiz. All right, so that's where it's 20 points. Anything that has a number here it'll tell you the amount of points. For instance, this is 20 on your Code It. These are 3. The debugging is practice. All right, and you see all of these assignments, the due date, December 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you start one of these and you don't finish it by 6 p.m., it should cut you off. But hopefully, it depends on the type of assignment it is. It gives you a grade where you started. On the code, I don't think it does because you have to submit it before you get a grade. But I do believe you will get a warning to say, hey, this ends in 2 minutes. So if you're working on something and you don't submit it, you'll get a 0 for it, and that's the end of the class. So I know what grade to submit. All the chapters are set up the same way. So if we go to chapter 6, you got Learn It, Code It, Study It, and Apply It. Remember, the Code It is graded and the Apply It is graded. This is your reading and whatnot, and this is your slides and flashcards review. So just remember that. And there's some additional resources at the bottom, just if you want to learn more about coding and all that. But that's not graded. So here where it says post-course assessment, this is your final exam. So you get an hour and 10 minutes to complete it. And here it unlocks on the 29th. I know in the syllabus it said on the 2nd. This may change, so just check your announcements and your teams. But before this date comes, you'll know exactly when it's open. And I want to give you plenty of time to do the final. So if you want to get done early, you can. May even open that up before Thanksgiving. So if you're done, you can be finished by Thanksgiving, have your grade and everything. All right. So that right there, that's basically it for the software. When you do the coding, if you do the orientation part, it'll show you how to work the GitHub to do the coding. If you don't, you're going to be confused. So please take time to look at these videos and understand how to do it before you try to start. And like I said, the course will be open early, so you can kind of go over that stuff before the course opens so you're not wasting time during class time. All right, so next, let's go on to our next topic, which is going to be the Microsoft Teams. So if you may have noticed that in the Canvas section, it wasn't populated that well at all. That's because I put everything in Microsoft Teams. It's easier for me to organize, and I can access it better with my phone, so if I'm not in the office. So Principles of Programming Microsoft Teams is going to be the next section, and we're going to go through and show you how to use it, and this is very important because once again, I'll show you where to put the group chat. This is just like even though it's online, it's like a classroom. So if you're a type of student who just wants to be by yourself and not be involved with the group, that's okay. But if you don't want to be part of the group, don't think that, well, I'll just ask my teacher everything. I won't read anything. I'll just ask all the questions one-on-one, so he has to answer the same question several times. Well, the chat area in the Microsoft Teams will show you where to put your classroom questions. So unless it's something personal about you, it has nothing to do with school that you feel I need to know, please don't email me directly or open up another chat for me directly. All right, I'll have a chat area for the classroom to talk, just as we would if we were in a physical class. All right, you'll be able to raise your hand and ask the questions. Every student will be able to hear it, so you'll see other hands go down because a lot of students have the same questions, or a student might know the answer and they'll go and say, hey, that's in chapter 6, or that is in a syllabus. Your answer is yes or no. So that gives the students time to interact with each other instead of everyone coming to me with questions that they didn't feel like looking through the syllabus to find. All right, so let's go into Microsoft Teams and I'll show you what somewhat what it looks like on my end. And because I haven't populated yet, a couple tabs won't be there, but I'll tell you what they're going to say. So the Home tab we don't really use. There's usually one area that will, or two areas that we'll use, and that's the classwork and the chat. And it's going to say chat for classroom. So that's when you feel, if you're in a classroom, hey, should I walk up to my teacher's desk and ask my teacher or professor, are we allowed to use pencils, for instance? Or would you raise your hand and ask that question in the classroom? So the chat room for class, or chat for classroom, that's where you'll put general chats. If you're like, hey, I've got to go to a funeral or whatever, which you really don't need to tell me, you don't want the class to know, then you can email me directly or something like that. All right. But most of the times, this will be your area. So let's go to the classwork. This tab here inside the Teams, as you can see, this is the title of the team. Classwork. It's here. And it's broken down by week. All right. So if you click this arrow, you'll see videos. The intro video is going to be right here. The link to it. The syllabus is right here. And here are some video links for SMART goals and SMART goals for students to help you better prepare to be a better online student. I recommend you watch all three of these videos prior to the course starting. If you happen to wait until the course, or you don't see it until the course, that's fine, but watch those before you begin, all three of them, and you'll get your information from there. Okay. For instance, week 1, same thing. There'll be videos. Click see more. Talking about the quick study guide. Before you take the quiz, there's a video for the quiz to make sure you're ready for it. So you can do that before you take the quiz. And then for your labs, for Java, C++, and Python, Chapter 1 labs are here. And if you want to see the slides and you don't want to use, whatever reason, don't use Cengage, here's some additional slides to go through as well. Each week will be broken down like that. And then, as you'll see, some of them will have more programming than the others. But that's where you find these. Now the chat's not going to be open yet because I haven't posted the class, and I won't do that until probably Friday, August 9th. So after August 9th, you should be able to see the chat area. That's where you leave your chat is. The rest of the area is not going to be used off the bat, so just remember classroom and chat for classroom. All right, so remember, don't email me questions. Hey, I don't want to look at the syllabus. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'll just bug my teacher every time I have a question. Your answer is going to be check the syllabus or look at the intro video. Now there are questions that are not in there in the intro video, so I understand that there's something that happens. But just know that Cengage and MindTap, there's a help tab in your Cengage or MindTap if you're having technical issues. For instance, your pop-ups. In order for you to use the GitHub, you're going to need the enable pop-ups for that site. That's the most common problem, but I'm not an administrator for that site, so just be aware of that. So that if you have technical issues and you tell me, it's like you're wasting your time because I have a different version. If I have technical issues, I have to call Cengage too. I don't work for Cengage. I just use your software as well as you do. But the things that I can control are the dates. If something happens where you're locked out of something before December 4th and I make a mistake, definitely let me know, but let the classroom know. Don't just email me that. You put that in a group chat so I can address it for everyone else. In case I can't do it right away, everybody will see that, oh, he's going to do it as soon as he's back in the office. All right? So just remember that. Find that help button for your Cengage for technical issues. If you have a different computer and all that, I'm not the one. I can't tell you that. I can speculate, but the best way to do it is contact the help support for Cengage. All right. So that is all you need to know for this intro video to get started. Make sure you watch this video. If you forget something, you can watch it again or go to a certain area to catch it. But otherwise, go ahead and hit the like button if you found this video useful. Also subscribe to the channel so you can navigate easier to see the other videos that's posted for this class and other information. And go ahead and leave a comment so you can share what you think and feedback so you can make these videos better. All right. So until then, take care, good luck in the class, and have a wonderful day.